Alright, so this is a bit of an update here. If you've been following along, you've seen me make the set of beam links, as they call them. These long pieces here with those little pins, with those tiny little holes that I drilled. And you also see me make the what's called the connecting rod clevers. So I went ahead and made the rest of the similar pieces like that. This is all made from 1/16 of an inch thick brass. You know, I didn't videotape all of this. It's pretty redundant. It's the same stuff over and over again. But this is just an update of all of the pieces that are required for the number one engine here. The only thing I want to mention is that you watched me radius the beam links by hand, and I just put a pin in and I just turned it around, and that works good when the piece is long. It's quick, but when you start getting to these little short pieces, you lose control very quickly. So on these longer pieces, I used that technique just by turning it by hand. And on these little short pieces here, I used the rotary table with that fixture that Blondie Hacks made. When it came to these two pieces here, the beam link fork and the piston rod fork here, you know, I just put a filing button in there and did these four radiuses by hand, radiuses or radii. So, well, these four ends by hand with a file. That seemed to be the easiest way to get that done. So, just before we go any further, I just want to say, you know, while I was making these little threaded studs or pins, whatever you want to call them, I went ahead and I did a whole bunch of them, and this is some of them that you're going to see later on. This is just 3/32 brazing rod. I took the flux off and ran a 348 die over them, pretty easy. And then I made some extras while I had it set up. These are the little pins that are soldered onto here. I made a couple extras while I was at it, and that's just 1/8 of an inch brass, and turned down to 086 and put a 256 thread in there, and then just with a file I just kind of rounded over the end. Let me see if I can bring you in a little closer on that. So that was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Like, once again, I didn't videotape that. Then we're going to be needing some of these, bring you out again here. Okay. And later on we're going to be needing some of these, they call them tie bolts. It's just 3/32 drill rod. Once again, 348 threads on it, nothing special. Tried to get them the same length with the same amount of threads for aesthetic reasons. And later when we get to the cylinder heads, we're going to be needing a few of these little threaded studs that will get soldered into the head. And once again, 256 thread. And we're going to be having a few of these little shafts. And I'll bring you in again with that. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys can see, but once again, there are those number 70 holes. There's one on each end, and those will be shafted. There's a few of those to make as well. And I went ahead and got those all knocked out, and I went about drilling those holes the same way I did the holes for these beam links here. Focus or whatever. Can't even can see it. Oop. Come on, focus. There you go. And that's number 70, which is 28 thousandths in diameter. So, so that's a little update, what we got going on here. And probably the next thing I'll start working on is the cylinder heads. So, so I'll bring you back a little bit, and we'll get started on that. I'm looking forward to that. There's going to be a few operations involved. I think everything is on the mill, but it's going to be there's a lot of machining involved in that. So, all right. Hope you guys are finding this interesting and enjoying it. And thank you for taking the time and watching.